What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, boy? Are you frozen?
Oh, that's me. I know. I thought you was playing the other video down. My bad.
I guess for our audience, if you don't know, she's just gotten back from a Louisville girl trip that she just taken. So I guess she's still recovering.
That part. So you got to give me a break. Okay, just you got to give me a thumbs up or something. My bad. I thought you did. You said you was doing the 30. I thought we was gonna watch the video, but I'm with it. Let's do it.
When you do 8 trips in 2.5 months, your alertness kind of.
I'm blessed.
Okay.
I'm blessed.
Can I do the intro? Can I do the intro? Or are you going to make it about yourself? But welcome to Mama's Knows Best, Sorta. Long time in the making. Super excited to get this started. We've been trying to record for the last couple of months, but as we will talk about in this episode and episodes to come, Mom lives in Florida. I recently just started a position as a production assistant at ESPN, so we've been having a lot of life changes, but we needed to get this done. So we're super excited. But how you feeling today, boy?
I am well. All is well. I'm excited, like you said, that we are actually doing it. We're executing. We're not talking about it. We're being about it.
Well, that's if anyone knows my mother, execution, the project management is coming out. She's big on project management. She's big on execution, and she might be big on control too. I don't know if you want to go into that.
It all goes in the same. It's hand in hand.
All righty. But yeah, I'm feeling good as well. Like I said, like I previously said, feeling super excited to get this started. I think this is a great podcast. I guess I would share my initial thoughts on starting a podcast. For me, I was thinking when we had talked, earlier this year, it was just something that could bring us closer. I think it's something that we can look back on. It's kind of funny. You were started a podcast on YouTube when I was like 9, 10 years old, and I was doing my own sports talk. And I wish I would have kept going, and I don't know how to find that video. Hopefully we can find that video. We can maybe attach like a little clip into it to this. But at that time, 10 years ago, you understood the importance of having a digital footprint. And so for me, it's just, I don't care if it's one person watching, if it's just us two, to be able to go back and look at these conversations and have this time, with our lives being so busy to have with you. I was, that's why I want to start a podcast. What about you, boy?
No, I absolutely echo that. And if you go to my premium YouTube that I gave you my login on, the video is saved. That's one of the favorites. I'm just saying, so we can find that video and add it. But yeah, I definitely echo that, and we'll probably get in later episodes on why digital print is important, because just memories is just everything.
Right.
So just for us to connect, because again, me being here, you being there, and us to just kind of find our way, and then our voice as Mama knows best, and as son who thinks he knows a little.
No, that's not the title of the podcast. It's Mama knows best, sorta. You're not right all the time.
Well, and dot. Well, that means
sorta. So really, the dot means when I was up under your household, it didn't matter if you was right, wrong, or different. You were 100% correct. As I have transitioned out of your household, it's about 50%. It might be 51 you, 49 you. So
look, we got to check with our audience to do the balance. But I think Mama knows best is still right. But anyway,
sort of.
To answer your question, I understand the importance of digital print, and like you said, for us to connect and talk about topics from adult mama perspective, and from a son who thinks he knows perspective. I'm with it. Let's do
it. All righty. Well, how do you particularly feel about starting a podcast with your own son? What does that mean for you?
I think it's amazing because just knowing our relationship, I think we have a unique relationship where, it's where we love each other, but we're funny. We can talk about almost whatever. And, with just having a vision and just forward movement. I think I've trained. Okay, I don't know if train is the right word because you are a man now.
No, right. Train is definitely
to lead from the front. That part, to lead from the front. So our thing is we're not taking things and copying it. We're leading from the front. And so I think a lot of your friends, my friends, they love our relationship. And then just the different things that, we've been able to experience. Why not?
Yeah.
It's like, why not? So I think this
Right.
is perfect timing for us to just really just share our story and be who we are.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think, the ability to be able to start a podcast, you kind of piggybacking off of what you said is, we have a unique relationship. I think that we are very funny. I know I've mimicked a lot of your jokes and your personality along. As our grandmother, shout out Miss Sandra Wallace. Shout out Miss Sandra Wallace. Uh,
Right.
but just a lot of personality between our family, and I think it's just dope to be able to share that, with each other, but also the people around. So, we wanted to definitely start the podcast by at least kind of giving a perspective on why we started the podcast. What was our thinking behind it? I guess, for me, I guess to wrap up this part of the intro of the podcast, for myself, for the goals, is just to be consistent. I think the biggest thing with a lot of different things and with a lot of successful people, I think, or what separates somebody that's successful or somebody that's good is consistency. If you're very consistent, if you continuously put your best foot forward, because there are going to be some days where, it might be episode 15, episode 30, episode 100, where we're not probably going to be as excited as we were episode 1. You might have things that are going in your personal life. Work might be hard, dealing with what I deal with, you doing your hustles that you do, the personal things that we have going on. It can be a little bit hard. But then how do we channel that in to be able to be focused and still come on here and still be consistent and be honest with our audience is going to be awesome. So that's my goal. I want to just take it one day at a time and just be consistent. What you thinking?
Listen, you perfectly said. So in
Right.
that, hey, we on the same page.
So your goal is 80.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay. So for anybody out there, my mom goal for the podcast is 80. So I think that's lit. She wants the podcast to be lit. Uh, but transition it kind of just more to the focus of what this podcast will be about. The intro, we wanted to kind of do a deeper dive on this episode, just kind of like, and this is going to be throughout the podcast, but more particularly the distance and how we've been managed, how we managed to have a tight relationship, not living up under the same household. Obviously, right now you reside in Tampa, Florida. I've been living like a nomad. I've lived in Colombia for a couple of years. I lived in St. Louis.
Boo, cry me a river, as you say.
All righty. So I lived in Colombia for a couple of I lived in Colombia for a couple of years, lived in St. Louis for a little bit, and then I did a in-person internship January through spring in Connecticut, came back to Colombia for a couple of months, and now I've been living in Connecticut since the back end of July. So with all that being said, the whole timeline and all of that, we have been away, but I guess that's what caused it. I guess that's one of the questions, but I explained what caused this. But what has been some of the struggles that you've experienced being so far away from your son?
Actually, I don't even want to start with the struggles. I want to start with um the consistency, because if you think about what you said at the beginning of the podcast is being consistent. And one thing that you and I committed to, I don't know if you remember, was that our goal when I decided to move down here was we was not going to go over 3 months without seeing each other. I think that was the commitment that we had made. And for the most part, we have done a really good job of honoring that commitment. So I think that's dope. Like, I had to, I'm going this way, you going that way, but that does not mean it should affect our relationship.
Right.
So then going back to your question, struggle, of course. I mean, I think, I could say just with me going off to college, I understand, once you make that leap, you may not come back home. You know what I mean? So I think I
Yeah.
was already kind of prepared for that. So I think I really didn't have a struggle with, you being in college and what not. I'm having a struggle now, more of an adulthood, because now I'm with you, having your career and you got vacation, you have to choose who you're going to spend that time with.
Right.
So that's been more of my struggle is, oh, you're not coming for Christmas for 2 weeks anymore. So,
Right.
or I may not see you for Christmas or when I'm going to see you. That's been kind of more of my struggle. But I think, you know, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. And I'm just understanding that because you are growing up and growing into that manhood. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. I agree. I think one of the best things that you brought up, and I'm glad you brought it up so early to the podcast. I think it's fire. When you made that commitment, I think honestly, if I'm being honest, I think I take you for granted. I think for a lot of ways, you're probably the only person in my life that initiates more towards me than I initiate, I guess, towards him. I don't know if I said that right, but basically, you're probably the king
Right.
initiator of my life, right? And so you said, hey, I'm not going to, see you down 3 months. You made sure to make sure I got out there. You flew me out there to Tampa, or you made sure to come out there to Connecticut, 3 times. I think a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people just see, me doing great things at ESPN or whatever they might put in their head, right? Because a lot of people sometimes can assume, but they don't understand the day-to-day life that goes
Right.
on. And so for me, it's hard, a lot of times. I'm out here dolo. What I'm saying? I don't have no family. I don't have no friends.
Right.
Yes, the close person, I guess, out here that will be closest to me is probably you as far as distance. I think Missouri's 1,000 miles away. I think Florida might be 1,000 miles away. So
Right.
equally far apart, but there's a struggle with that, right? There's a mental
Yeah.
battle to fight every day, knowing that, hey, you're by yourself, not in a bad way, but you have to learn how to love yourself, be able to have times, outlets, have routine, but it's still like even when you came up here last weekend, you came here for 3 days. That was a mental boost. I was able to feel like a child. Sometimes it's good when you have to be Superman at your job, you have to be Superman for your own life. It's only you. It's good sometimes to be able to take that cape off, right? Oh,
That
mama's
part.
saying I can relax. I can,
Yeah.
do things like that. So all that is just good for me. And so I think, we really haven't had a struggle. And I think one of the biggest reasons why we haven't had a struggle is because of how great of initiator that you are. And I think that, you do that for so many people in your life around you. And I honestly think a lot of people take you for granted.
Yeah, exactly, because it's almost like an expectation. So, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm appreciative that you was able to acknowledge that. And I even want to add on that, even within the 3 months, we pretty much talk on the phone every single day,
Right.
and that's huge.
Right.
Like just even dealing with, you know, uh, friends that I've had here in Tampa where they may go a while and not speak to their children. They look at us like, we're weird or we're unique, but
Yeah.
it's really not. So I just think even if it's for 5 minutes, are you cool? You cool? Whatever. Or,
Right.
we talk our little,
Yeah.
lingo. But
Bye.
bye. Like, and now if you hear Tammy, yes, Tammy, I'm calling you out. She says it. I got a lot of people saying, oh, they be
What
talking
is
like
here? You said one name, but you said here. Can we please get a translator for what you're actually saying?
exactly. But I mean, as you all get to know Mama and Christian, you will pick up on our lingo. But yeah, we have our own style of communicating, and it
Yeah.
is what it is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, somebody asked me the other day, was I sad that you was not here? And I was like, no. I was like, because Christian he has to be his own man. He has to go out and do what he needs to do. And as long as we continue to have our check-ins or whatever, I'm good with that. Cause I never wanted to put you in a situation where you had to feel like you was my man or my daddy. You're my son. So that means you have to go and live your life to the fullest.
Right.
Now, does my feeling get hurt every now and then because you ain't coming for Christmas? Yeah, I may gotta check you in and
This,
now a
this
couple
is
of
our
times.
third.
I may
This
have
is our
to get
third.
checked.
This is your third time, and 2.5 minutes you brought up
Just
like
brought up Christmas. So so do y'all know that he ain't coming and I'm a little bit in my feelings. I
right,
am, but I get it.
right,
So
yeah,
yeah, it's things that we have to work on. And I think those are things that we can hone on in on, how I'm dealing with it. And even with you, the decision that you made not to be, because you're pulled in so many different directions because of the relationships that you have in your life.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So, but I feel like if we continue to communicate, be honest, and move forward, all will be well,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great point. I go back to your, opening statement for this question. I think what was great was, like you said, being able to talk every day. That's one thing about, we're very consistent about. But I also think it's kind of, for me, I appreciate having a great father. I appreciate having a great mother, and I have world-class parents. And not saying everything was perfect. Obviously, a divorce took place, whatever, but that doesn't change how great of a parents you guys were. And there's a lot of people around me that
Absolutely.
have fathers that aren't, really, really aren't present. So that makes you appreciate my dad more. See, he's a prime example of a man. You see mothers that aren't really active. I don't install the discipline. So I have so many friends and people around me that, have parents that are just really not even parents, kind of like big old kids in a sense. And to have two leaders as parents, I find it almost kind of disrespectful not to talk to your parents every day. Like, oh, a call. I'm not saying that, that every day are we going to talk for 15, 20 minutes? Nah, it may be like, what's up, boy? What's up, boy? And then we racing to say bye, but,
Yeah,
at least you know that I'm okay. And you know that I'm, right. At least you know I'm okay. Right. I know
that
that
part.
you're okay. So I think that's awesome. And then too, I don't think it's a sad part because I think that we're both highly motivated. I was talking to people around you today, and I was just like, hey, man, she's so motivated. Being around you will literally either you're going to hate and you're a lot to deal with. I'm not gonna say people are, you're a lot to deal with, but either you're going to be around that and be like, hey, this is someone that is special. Let me learn from it, and I'm gonna get on the wagon, or you're going to stand aside. And if you get on that wagon, you're going to be able to experience a lot of great things. And so I think that we have two people that and I've been motivated like you. So we have people that are constantly motivated, constantly want to go out and achieve different things. It's
Right.
great to be around. So our minds are so wired to constantly be on the go, constantly achieve, constantly update your resume, because life is all about updating your resume. That really allows us to be at peace with what's going on, because we know we got to go get it.
That part.
Yeah.
So let's circle back around as far as I'm allowed to deal with that is correct, because I'm caviar, not 4 for 4.
but
I'm
but
just
but but you came for 4 for 4. You
that,
always got to
that
remember.
is
You always got to remember, if you come from a 4 for 4, because you really came from the dollar menu. You know what I'm saying? You really
what
came from
now?
the dollar menu. You weren't always living like this. Hey, you ain't. You got.
Personality. I
You
think
see. You see. No. You see that. You see that it says "Mama" on your side of the box. It don't say Christian McDonald. You're not an original McDonald. So you can't. You dollar menu. Then you upgraded.
phone.
So you can't
Phone.
remember where you came from.
McDonald is the dollar menu. I'm an upgrader. What did Future say? You can't upgrade the upgrader. I'm just saying. So maybe
Sure.
I came from humble beginnings, but it's always what's in here and
But
what
you
was.
but you can't forget that. You can't forget
Oh,
that.
oh,
Sometimes
oh, trust.
sometimes you're a little bit too bougie.
That's why I give to you. I keep giving to the needy. I'm always giving. What are you talking about?
I don't know how much giving you do, but sure, sure. I, I, I don't call you
Matter of
asking
fact,
for
I think
nothing.
you still owe me some money. Run me my money. Run me my money that you owe me.
Bring you money, bring your money. All right. Let's keep going.
Okay, but hold
Uh,
on, before you go, okay, I know you did ask a question on the struggles. I really didn't tap into that. Was there any
right.
struggles for you? I know you kind of hit on it a little bit about being a nomad or stuff like that. Did you feel disconnected because you was raised with both, me and your dad, and then of course separation. Then I've moved.
Yeah.
So, what was your struggles?
Yeah, I think the ultimate struggle probably hit my junior year summer, going to the summer I lived for treatment. And this is why I tell a lot of people around me, they probably heard this story 1,000 times, but this is why I love Trey so much. And he really would never be able to do any wrong in my eyes. Even if he is wrong, I might tell him in private, but I never would say in public. But that's probably the lowest point that I've ever had in my life, and just being around him for that summer was great. What I say the lowest point was, me and my dad weren't seeing eye to eye for a variety of reasons. I think, a lot of that was on me, having to grow up and understand how to be a better communicator with him.
Right.
It started to set in that, hey, yeah, my mom really is away in Florida. The relationship that I was in for a year and a half just ended, so that was a lot to take upon. But just, especially the things that's going on with me and my pops, that was tough. A lot of stuff weighed on me. And, being able to be there with Trey, and he really helped save me, man. Like, a lot of talks we had, we got really close. We were already close, but just that time where, man, I got somebody that's there. I can wake up and I got my brother there through that time. Even working at the Kansas City Business Journal, like, that was awesome. That was a life-changing experience, but I always felt like I was bigger. I always felt like there was something more that I can accomplish. Mm-hmm. And so, just all that in one, like, I'm going to my senior year, like, what I'm going to do for my life, so things around me felt like it was crumbling. And I realized that these were just growing pains to be able to be successful, and that I needed to take control of my life to be able to be successful in different areas. So that was definitely a different struggle. Like I said, shout out Trey. And like I said, a lot of conversations that we've had that I, obviously won't share on here. Just the times we had, the fun we had, the amount of, people that we was able to impact, and yeah, man, it was just a great time. It helped me refocus. It helped me kind of find myself a lot of ways. So that was definitely a struggle. Not necessarily oriented around you. I just think that during that time, it was just a lot of stuff going on. But that was a defining moment, I say, for me.
Okay, no, very well said. And I mean, I know, like you may mention, we don't have to go into a lot of that, but I think, as future podcasts dissecting different things, different friendships and stuff like that,
Right.
I always looked at you as blessed. Sometimes it's perspective. It's how we see certain things. The fact that you did have a friend, that you did have this, that you did. Now, it wasn't maybe the best ideal situation because of what you come from. But like you said, sometimes you find yourself in situations that you come out even stronger and better. So,
yeah, you got to have strong friends. And, I got a great crew of friends around me. Like I said, T. Will, man, he's probably the best friend anybody can have. And he's solid. Like, you can't even, people aren't even built like how T. Will's built. I'm not even built like how T. Will's built, as far as his heart posture, what it brings to the table. There's no envious spirit there. And, he's always going to come through for a lot of different things. DeAndre the same way. DeAndre came in, he pulled in for a couple of days. Mr. Soap, I had to check him a couple of days ago. I said, "You're not Soap Senior, you're Soap Junior." That's some respect. He think that he a top boss. He think he top boy.
But at least drop off some soap, sanitize or something.
Right. He came empty-handed.
Mr. Soap Daddy, we need you.
I would say when he dropped off, but he's a professional, so I ain't gonna say that. Right. But I remember him coming in and telling me, like, hey, hey, you bigger than the Kansas City Business Journal, like, you gotta get on it. And I looked at him like, what? Who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? But I think people may have believed that, but no one even had the mental fortitude, and not saying that they didn't care enough, because I think people care enough, but just to see that he saw something in me, it really struck me. And I sat on that the entire summer, like, just driving, down 71, like, man, I know I'm better than this. I know I'm better than this. Going into the garage, like, this is cool, but I know something's coming. So you got to have those great friends like a Trey, like a DeAndre, like a Eli, who took me under my wing when, I started off at Mizzou, and showed me a lot of different things. And the amount of people that he's impacted during this time, he's another guy that gets taken for granted for the amount of people that he touches and what he brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? So have a lot of friends that's been around. Those are probably the three I talked to the most. I ain't trying to leave one out. But those are the ones that really have had a tremendous impact on me. And, when you get to accomplish goals like being at ESPN or things like that, that's a reward for everybody. It's not an individual achievement. It's a group achievement of people around you. And I think, people around you really do play a part. And whether people admit it or not, a lot of help has to be given to you to get to where you're at.
Yeah, agree. I totally 100% agree on that. So, all
right.
right.
Yeah, so I guess we'll I guess in the podcast, sorry, I look at that on my notes, what just kind of focusing in more on your Florida, you moving to Florida. Obviously, we know I moved to Connecticut. I guess I was called to Connecticut. I didn't choose Connecticut, but we obviously know why I came to Connecticut. So I need to waste time doing that. I want to kind of end, giving you an opportunity to talk about what called you to Florida initially.
Oh my God. I'm going to try to sum it up in the next couple of minutes because I could talk about that all day. That we probably have
We
to
don't
have.
got all day. I'm hungry. So
All right. That's what I said. We probably better wrap it up. So you see, Mama knows best. He's stealing my verbiage. I was called to Florida. I did not want any parts of Florida. I didn't want to. What was okay, all of y'all Kansas Alicia fans. What was my saying?
Alicia fans.
Alicia fans. Then they know.
Can we pray over a spirit of humility? Can we pray over a spirit of humility for the podcast?
I am very humble.
You have no fans.
Hey, wait. We gotta have. That's the thing. We gotta come up with a name. So Beyonce got the Beehives. What are the Alicias? We gotta come up with a name. I'm telling you. But anyway, so I was going. I got that itch that I was kind of wanting to leave Kansas City because I was just done. I always wanted to go somewhere where it was warm. So I didn't want all 4 seasons. If I didn't never see snow again, I was cool. And I said I would never live south and I would never live Florida. So those were my 2 rules. So if I lived south, it would not be in Florida. So I'm like, I'm going to Dallas. Went to Dallas, fell in love with it because I've never experienced Southern hospitality to the fullest. So to my single ladies out there, Dallas. You ain't got to buy a drink. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
Yeah, so anyway, let's stay on track. We don't care about your hot girl season.
But it wasn't even I wasn't even in my season yet. But literally,
so when did your hot girl season kick in?
Florida? Well, maybe a little bit before Florida. I don't know. I mean, but if I can tell you, it's ended. It's ended. Anyway. Well, my hot girl summer turned into 2 years. I'm sorry. I mean,
you say
it's done.
So wait, so your hot girl summer was 2 years? That's not a summer. That's years.
I know that.
You need to go to church immediately. Come on, Pastor Sherry Fuller.
She's retired.
Hot girl summer, and it was 2 years.
But okay, he's talking about. But wait, hold on. You talking about church? My insides was like, don't make a move. No, real talk. See, Pastor Sherry Fuller taught me something. So, when you get to that age, you still wet behind the ears. When you get to that age, and when your insides tell you don't make a move, you bet not make a move because it's going to be costly more than what it is. And we can get into that later, but this is a different podcast. So anyway.
Different episode.
The Kansas City Chiefs was in the Super Bowl 2021. Called a homie. Yo, I'm coming to the city. Mind you.
Homie?
Oh, Jay Phillips. We have to have him as a guest one day. Oh, UMR, actually, University of Missouri Rolla, but it's not known. It's not that name is Missouri Science of Technology. So let me put my plug in now. I do have a technical degree in electrical engineering. But my hot girl summer is over, so I don't need anybody DM me. But anyway, so I came here to see Jay, to be in the city for the Super Bowl. All my insides said this is where I need to be. So again, we can deeper, excuse me. And I was like, Florida, wait, what? I don't know. So long story short, I didn't want to switch careers. I didn't want to switch jobs. I didn't even know how to tell you that I was coming. So that was February of 2021, came back June 2021, rented an Airbnb, worked from home. And everything in me said it was it. Even you gave me that validation, Christian. I don't know if you remember when you called me and was like, you moving sooner. Because I was going to try to postpone it till closer to you graduating. I said, oh yeah, this is it. Even talked to, the company that I'm working for. They like, oh, it could be a long time before you can get approval through HR. I got my approval the same day. So when I say I know it's been meant to be here, and I think I barely even scratched the surface. Right. Like I said, started a business. I'm doing my thing. I got other ideas coming. I'm doing a podcast with my son. What? I have nothing to be sad about. What we doing? What we doing? So yet more to come of that. But that's long story short. I'm trying to wrap it up quickly because I know we've been on here for a while. So
Yeah. So I got out of the original question. What called you to Florida was hot girl summer. A hot girl
God,
season.
God. I didn't want to move to Florida.
Okay. So the last question I ask you is, what are just share a few of the blessings, just a couple, maybe one or two blessings off the top of your mind, one or two blessings. Let me slow down and repeat that. That you feel like you have experiences living in Florida, and we'll call it a day.
Peace. Loving myself. Like, didn't know that a person can really be happy. For you grow up and it's like, oh my God, you think I always need prayer for this. And that's and please don't misinterpret that, but I am truly enjoying life to the fullest. And I've never loved myself the way I have. I accept myself and just being at peace with everything. And I don't think I've ever really experienced that before, and just knowing that you're walking in your calling. So that's it for me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think that's a great way that's the best way we can end off the conversations that we've had. Super excited. Episode 1 in the books.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going. We'll be recording. We'll get this out in a couple of days. Super excited. I really want to just post a full episode. I know it's great. But gonna see her tonight. She finally sends me the logo. We can get the YouTube channel up and load it up and going. So
Right. So what we doing for next one? We gonna give them a taste of what we gonna talk about the next podcast? You got that, or
let me see. Let me look at these notes.
You need to run about Mama because Mama knows best. Okay, I got you. I feel you.
Oh, so we'll be talking. The episode of next week is so you think you've grown now?
Oh, that's a good one.
So it'll be more centered around me, my transition to Connecticut, how you have to step back. I have to step back. You're not a primary caregiver anymore.
It's all about him.
System. You're a support system. So that'll be a great episode. Episode 2. Oh, so you think you've grown now. Episode 1 in the books. Any last words, boy?
Mama knows best. That's all I'm saying.
No, you stop butchering the name. It's Mama Knows Best, Sorta.
Bye.
You can hang up on me. I can hang up on you. Bye.
Wait, hold on. Who gonna hang